This is Mindfulness with Richard Clarke. Listen, reflect, and deeply meditate. Welcome.
Thank
Today
you.
we continue with the series on sati, the original Pali word that mindfulness comes from, including its deeper connotation like remembrance, presence, and ethical care. This session is on From Sensation to Insight, Observing Change in Real Time. This is experiencing the truth of impermanence, anicca. I'll talk about awareness of body, feelings, and thoughts as they arise and pass, that nothing remains solid. And in this change lies deep freedom. When you sit quietly and turn your attention inward, you begin to notice something remarkable. Nothing stays the same. A sensation in your knee comes and goes. A thought appears, lingers, and dissolves. Even emotions which may feel heavy and immovable rise up, crest, and fade. This constant flow is what the Buddha called impermanence, anicca. Mindfulness meditation gives you a front row seat to this unfolding. Observing change in real time is a doorway into freedom. Normally, you might cling to pleasant feelings, hoping to make them last, or push away unpleasant ones, wishing they would end. But when you see directly that every sensation, thought, and feeling is temporary, the grip of clinging and resistance loosens. You start to rest more lightly in the moment with less struggle. They will all change. Why try to hold on to any of them? One of the gifts of mindfulness practice is you do not need to believe anything ahead of time. Your own observation is enough. Watch how the itch on your arm shifts, how the rhythm of your breath never repeats exactly the same way twice, how a mood brightens or darkens without your control. These small insights add up to a deep trust in the truth of impermanence. The shift from sensation to insight happens naturally. At first, you simply notice the raw details of your experience: heat, tingling, pressure, movement. With steady attention, you begin to see the fleeting nature of these experiences. What once seemed solid reveals itself as transient. That recognition opens the heart to patience, compassion, and a lighter way of being with life's changes. Everything changes. It is all impermanent. One practical way to practice this is through body scanning. Start at the top of your head and slowly move your attention downward, noticing sensations in each part of the body. Do not try to change them. Just observe how they come and go. You can extend the same attention to thoughts and feelings, watching how they come into awareness, linger for a moment, and pass. This practice can be especially freeing when you're caught in a worry or discomfort. Instead of seeing pain or sadness as fixed, you learn to see them as moving patterns. This perspective reduces suffering because you no longer mistake passing states for permanent conditions. It will go on its own. The thought of impermanence does not make life cold or detached. On the contrary, it brings more appreciation. You begin to value each moment because you know it will not last. You savor joys while they're here, and you hold sorrows gently, knowing they too will pass. Mindfulness meditation, then, is not only about relaxation, it's about seeing clearly. When you train your awareness to observe change in real time, you touch freedom. You no longer have to cling or resist. You can rest in the flow of life, awake and at peace. So as you leave this session today, carry this simple truth with you. Everything is changing moment by moment. Each breath, each thought, each feeling is already on its way to becoming something else. When you see this clearly, you don't need to cling or resist. You can meet life with more ease, more tenderness, and more presence. May this practice of observing change in real time help you rest more deeply in yourself and walk more lightly through the days ahead. Now, a guided meditation from sensation to insight, observing change in real time. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes if you wish. Take a slow breath in and out, allowing the body to settle. Relax your shoulders. Feel the contact of your body with the chair. Let yourself be supported. Feel your breathing. Each inhale has a beginning, a middle, and and end. Each exhale does the same. Observe the changing nature of each breath. Move your attention through the body. Notice warmth, tingling, or pressure. Watch how each sensation shifts, even slightly, from moment to moment. When a feeling arises, pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral, greet it gently. Watch how it moves and changes on its own. When thoughts come, notice how they appear and fade on their own if you let them. See them as events in awareness, not permanent truth. Sit quietly, noticing the flow of experience. Let impermanence show itself, breath by breath, sensation by sensation. As you prepare to end this meditation, take a slow, steady breath. Notice how, even now, the sensations of breathing continue to shift and change. Let this remind you that change is natural and that you can meet it with calm attention. Gently bring awareness back to your body and to the room around you. Wiggle your fingers and toes, and when you're ready, open your eyes. Carry with you a quiet awareness of impermanence and the freedom it brings. So, Barley, how has your meditation been?
It was good this week. Most often I go to one of your videos on YouTube and I fast forward it to the part where you're going to lead us into meditation, and then I just do it until the end.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you're getting some use out of the videos. That's wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I'll listen to other parts of it, but most often I just want to do the meditation itself.
Well, that's good. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
All the other is just the noise I make.
Yeah, which is good too. I learn things, but
Well, good.
mhm,
That's what I hope.
yes,
And what I hope you're learning about is yourself.
yes.
Anyway, Carol, how about you?
Nothing to report on the course. Nighttime, meditation. Mostly I'm not too tired. Every once in a while I am. But doing well and staying on the schedule.
Stay in the course.
Staying the course.
Okay, how about you, Tom? Your mic is off. Maybe you can turn it on.
There he
And
is.
here we come. Hey, we get to see you too.
Yes, I'm conserving bandwidth uh, to hope that you hear me better.
Yeah, it's fine.
Thank you. Where am I in the meditation? Well, I'm working in terms of more consciousness about it and the need for more regularity with it. My life is a little bit discombobulated, I'd say, these days. As you know, I'm in recovery from
Hmm.
a knee replacement, and it takes a lot of efforts, which I did not realize before, just to deal with the basic necessities of living without means of transport and without, I'd say, ability to get around as I would once had.
Uh-huh.
So, but thankfully, I'm now improving. I'm able to get around without the walker to some extent, and so that's kind of expanded my horizon somewhat.
Hmm.
I'm doing some reading in various fields, and I hope to do more practice. I think the whole issue with me is practice. Um, so that's kind of where I'm at. I'm grateful that I know now that at least on Eastern Standard Time, you're on at 5 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
So I've got the body clocks worked out, and we go from there. So I'm living in a nice area of a little town. I'm living in the parsonage of the Episcopal Church, and so I have kind of nice little gardens and St. Francis in the front of me, and then an open garden with the bell and all that in the back. So it's kind of like a possible camping experience. Okay. Anyhow, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm also happy that your sessions are recorded. So now that gives me an opportunity, I think, to go back and to go through some of those sessions that I have missed for a variety of reasons. And so that's where I'm at now. So thanks for letting me share.
Okay, very good. Thank you. And it's still, there are times when it's hard to keep up a consistent problem, and where you are with all the issues of recovery is one of those times. If you can, though, the meditation just helps you open up your body and it supports the recovery process.
No question about it.
Okay, so now we have a video how sensation, thinking, and feeling shape our reality.
Sensation tell us a thing is. Thinking tells us what it is this thing is. Feeling tells us what this thing is to us. So today we're going to be talking about feelings. We're going to talk about what they are, where they come from, and how they influence our lives. Welcome to Life Noggin. First off, let's take a moment to appreciate the fact that you have feelings. You get to experience love and joy, excitement and anticipation. Even though you may think of feelings as simple reactions to events around you, psychologists like Carl Gustav Jung had more nuanced theories about their purpose. They're caused by things that stimulate our sensory organs, like our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. When something stimulates these organs, they send signals to the brain which then interprets them, and that is how we become aware of us and ask ourselves what it means to us or what we should do about it. So in the scenario of being cold, we might ask ourselves, but some people tend to rely more heavily on one of these processes over the others. For example, some people are very in tune with their bodies and can easily identify what they are feeling. These people tend to be more intuitive and make decisions based on how they feel. Other people are more logical and rational and prefer to think things through before making a decision. Negative feelings like sadness, anger, and fear can motivate us to make changes in our lives or help us to empathize with others who are going through tough times. For example, if we are feeling sad, it might be because we haven't been taking care of ourselves. Or if we are feeling angry, it might be because we feel like something isn't fair. When we take the time to explore these feelings and try to understand them better, we are better able to regulate them and use them to our advantage. These people tend to be more analytical and less emotional in their approach to life. By doing this, we can start to identify patterns in our emotions and learn what causes them. They allow us to experience the full range of human emotions and help us to connect with others on a deeper level. Are you feeling curious? Are you feeling bored? Are you feeling like you want to learn more? Maybe you're feeling a little bit of all of those things. Whatever you're feeling, know that it's okay. All feelings are valid and important. Just like Carl Jung suggested, we need to take the time to explore our feelings and understand them better. If we do, we will be better able to regulate them and use them to our advantage. While feelings can sometimes be difficult to deal with, they are an important part of our lives, and we should take the time to explore them and understand them better. We can also start to notice how our feelings affect our behavior and try to use them to make better decisions. Another way to get in touch with our feelings is to take a personality test like the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator or the Big 5 personality traits. These tests can help us understand our tendencies and preferences and give us insight into what might be causing our feelings. We can also talk to a therapist or counselor who can help us explore our feelings in a safe and non-judgmental environment. Still, other people fall somewhere in between these two extremes. They take into account both their feelings and their thoughts when making decisions. These people tend to be more well-rounded and flexible in their thinking. Why am I cold? Maybe we left the window open last night, and now the house is cold. Sometimes our feelings can get the better of us, and we can make decisions that we later regret. Other times, our feelings can be so strong that they can make it hard to think clearly or make any decisions at all. For example, if we are feeling grateful for something, we are more likely to be positive and optimistic. If we are feeling hopeful about the future, we are more likely to take risks and pursue our goals. And if we are feeling connected to something or someone greater than ourselves, we are more likely to experience a sense of peace and contentment. Feelings are complex and sometimes difficult to deal with, but they are an important part of what makes us human. They allow us to connect with others on a deeper level and make our experiences richer and more meaningful. Or maybe we didn't put on enough clothes before going outside. Positive psychology is a branch of psychology that focuses on the positive aspects of human experience, rather than just the negative. And emotions are a big part of what positive psychologists study. One of the main goals of positive psychology is to identify and understand the emotions that contribute to happiness and well-being. Researchers have found that emotions like gratitude, optimism, hope, and contentment are important for our overall happiness. So it turns out that asking ourselves what our feelings mean to us can actually be an important part of living a happy and fulfilling life. After figuring out why we're cold, we might start to feel frustrated or annoyed. But then after thinking about it a bit more, maybe we won't be so upset once we realize that the reason we're cold is because we forgot to put on a jacket, which is something that's easy to fix. So, in this scenario, our feelings help us process the situation and decide how we should respond to it. Our senses allow us to perceive many different types of things, including temperature, pressure, light, sound, odors, tastes, and textures. These sensations then travel to the brain where they are processed, and then we act based on what we have perceived. This happens all the time without us having to think about it. Like when you walk outside in the cold, your body automatically puts on extra layers of goosebumps, and then you shiver in order to warm up. These are all examples of sensations, and they help keep us alive by alerting us to potential dangers or helping us find what we need to survive. Without sensations, we wouldn't be able to function in the world around us. Jung said that our feelings can be categorized into three: sensation, thinking, and feeling. Sensation simply refers to the physical feeling itself. Once we have sensed something in our environment, we use our cognitive abilities to try to understand what it is that we are sensing. This could involve recalling past experiences, making logical deductions, or using our knowledge of the world to draw conclusions. So, for example, if you were outside and your skin started to get cold, you might think, "I'm cold," and that would lead you to look for ways to warm up, like finding a jacket or walking inside. In this scenario, your thoughts help you make sense of the sensation of your body getting cold, so that you can take the appropriate next steps. And this is the role of thinking in our feelings. It allows us to interpret the sensation and decide what to do next. What does this thing mean to me? What does it say about me? Or even, what do I do with this thing? As Jung pointed out, sensation tells us that there is something. Thinking tells us what it is, and feeling tells us what it is to us. So let's explore each one in a little more detail, starting with sensation. Like, you can feel a headache coming on, or you can feel the sun warming your skin. With sensation, you just feel something. Not only that, but you also get to feel empathy and compassion for others. On top of all of that, you also get to make your own decisions about what to eat tonight, what TV show you want to binge watch, and who you want to call when you need help. In fact, you might be watching this video because you chose to click on it. You chose to pursue a nagging curiosity about something related to feelings. And it's because of your feelings, or at least some of your choices driven by them, that you ended up here. But even though feelings are such an important part of our lives, we're often not exactly sure what they are or why we have them. Next is thinking. This is when you try to figure out what the thing is that you are feeling. For example, if you feel your face getting hot and your heart beating faster, you might think that you are experiencing shyness or maybe anxiety. Your thinking helps you determine what it is that you're feeling. And finally, there is feeling, which is different than sensation. It's when you ask yourself, sensation are our biological responses to the world around us. The next step in the process of feeling is thinking, but the final step in this process is feeling. This is when we evaluate the object or the situation, so we see that sensation. Thinking and feeling all play important roles in our lives, but it's not always easy to rely on our feelings. In fact, emotions are so important that researchers in the field of positive psychology have dedicated years of study towards them. When we take the time to explore our feelings and try to understand them better, we are better able to regulate them and use them to our advantage. Of course, not all feelings are positive, but even negative feelings can be beneficial if we know how to use them. One way to do this is to keep a journal and write down our feelings every day. In conclusion, our feelings are an important part of what makes us human. So we ask you, what are your feelings telling you? So what are you waiting for? Start exploring your feelings today. You never know what you might discover.
And now we're going to take a few minutes to meditate. Mindfulness is present moment experience. Paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally, fully receive whatever is experienced, then let it go. All right. And now we end with a short chant. Oh, oh. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Now, Barley, what uh, did you gave you a strong impression out of the soccer video or your own meditation?
Well, I'm totally relaxed. It's hard to talk right now.
Okay, that's
I
good.
always feel that way. It's not sleeping, it's not dozing, it's just being very still.
That's good. That's good.
Mhm.
How about you, Tom or Carol?
Okay, well, I'm my interesting experience was that sensing and feeling. I'm I'm using that in relationship to pain.
Uh-huh.
So I'm feeling pain, but the sensing is on a different level. So So I don't know if that makes sense or not, but there's a differentiation.
It does. It does make sense because, you
Yeah.
know, there, one of the ways the Buddha talked about this is he talked about the two arrows that we are hit by. The first arrow is whatever happens, and the second arrow is our reaction to it.
Uh, hmm. Yeah. Yes. That's interesting. Interesting. Thank you.
And while we can't do anything about the raw sensation, how we respond to it is something we have a lot of power over.
Yeah, I found that I think one of the differences will be that you don't sense and feel, let's say, the pain itself. So I might be feeling pain, but sensing a little bit broader context.
Uh-huh.
So that it's not all pain, is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
I'm not sensing and feeling the same thing. Anyhow, that's as much as I can express on that topic.
Well, again, part of the process is really starting to look at this stuff a little more deeply, and it sounds like that's what you're doing.
Yes, yes. So thank you.
Okay. Anything for you, Carol?
Well, I was wanting to say that I really appreciated the idea that every breath is a little different and every like millisecond is a little different. So it's like it gives me a different perspective on the idea of change.
Uh-huh.
It's like nothing, I mean, usually you just breathe and you think every breath is the same, but the fact is nothing's the same as anything else. So that's good.
Mhm. And since nothing's the same, it also gives you the opportunity to cherish it and appreciate it as it goes by.
Hmm.
Anyway, thank you all for coming today and have good meditation, and we'll
I just wanted to say one more thing to Tom. Tom, our teacher's teacher was famous for, at the end of his life, he needed an operation on his surgery on his arm.
Right.
And he had the surgery without any anesthetic or anything. And when he was asked, didn't it hurt? He said, the body hurt, but I'm not the body. And it seems like that's a way for you to separate a little bit from the pain you're
Not
feeling.
quite there yet, but
But it's
all right.
good thing.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
goodbye.
Bye, thank you.
Bye.
Namaste.